Hello. Ciao. Hola. My name's TP. And welcome back to RIMWORLD. They say that things work in groups of 3, and today's episode will be no different. Oh boy, it's a big one. An episode 8 of Game of Thrones season level of big. So no last episode segment today. We dive in head first into that endless abyss. The day began with us travelling back to 2019 to collect up a virus, Monster Hunter style, except with our lungs. The flu seemed to be of a minor variant. However, I couldn't help but feel slightly wary towards the fact that Goose was now in her 3rd trimester. Probably not the best perception of the colony if our firstborn looks like a regular visitor to the crater of Adam. The silver lining, however, was that Apple only had to endure no-leg disease for another 0.0024 decades. Breaking the 4th wall here. But episode 1 and 2 were both recorded in the same session, so this was the first chance I had to change that dread-awful name to something more appropriate my stereotypical British tongue could pronounce. Like Greg. Greg was good. I thought I began planting tea, but my addiction for hot caffeine took control of my subconscious like a Jedi mind trick, and instead caused me to throw some coffee beans into the tilled soil. The dwarven soul buried deep inside requested a mining operation to be set. And who am I to deny such fiery passion from a being under average size? I know the feeling there. It was time to edge our borders outwards once more, particularly for the Muffalo we had recently tamed, since they had the appetite of your average sumo wrestler during bulking season. In addition, I set the template for a small airlock type structure to be constructed, mainly so we were slightly more protected during times of invasion, but also because it made me look like I knew what I was doing when building defenses. Despite my 700 plus hours in this gear, the Western Republic happened across our colony and began showing us various weapons and items for trade, like the people outside Disney trying to sell you a laser pointer that's definitely regulated. Since flu was still rampaging through our socially adept colonists like the Juggernaut, the Vinnie Jones one, not the CG one, Greg was the best option for bartering. I feel like I should have bought more jerky instead of ensuring the intake of silver. However, the colony seemed far happier with the trade than one of the Western Republic, who decided they would try their best against Dragonfly.
Get ready for the next battle.
Dragonfly only needed a single return strike to put tremors in the hearts of our tribal traders.
I summoned Pot of Greed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck!
That's not what it does!
That's what it do, Yugi!
The Western Republic recognised this whilst taking their leave by gifting us a hand cannon, something I'm sure Lime will make good use of. It was time to don our best Wesker cosplay since the Umbrella Corporation must be restarting operations again nearby. 2 shamblers of the reanimated zombie variety, well, shambled onto the map. However, we were rife enough with disease and medical issues to add an existential crisis of the afterlife. So we left the walking corpses to return to their previous state, since Nemesis was currently on holiday sipping something nuclear at the crater of Atom Bar. A laugh that could have only originated from the twisted mind of Randy echoed all across the chaotic RIMWORLD. The bell tolled once. Dragonfly revealed her trap card that had been laying in wait since turn 1. She was no Dragonfly. Instead a snake in the grass whose fangs dug deep into our young colony's naivety. Her intentions must have been that of true devil work, since she immediately turned to violence by attacking Greg in his sleek Black Ops style. Camel heard the commotion and allowed his curiosity to come to Greg's aid. But Camel was the last person Dragonfly would have wished to face. There's a reason we all allow Camel to satiate bloodlust. Camel was an angry dude. And you wouldn't like Camel. Dragonfly was executed on the spot for her treasonous acts. The distraction was long enough, however, to keep attention away from Goose and her own battle against illness. We lost her, trying to defend our home against enemies who had to hide in shadows in order to be effective. Sam was next to follow Goose into the endless sleep. We tried quickly to replace Goose's ideological role to try and keep morale up, but it yielded no positive result. Quite the opposite, actually. Both Camel and Greg were sent into a catatonic state, and as the last person standing, Lion's will quickly crumbled and he was sent into a psychotic rage. The mysterious stranger, not that one, was sent to assist by some unknown being. The answer to whether this was genuine aid or a fake gesture of goodwill was yet to be answered. Worry was somewhat transformed into hope when a quest was given in the form of refugees requesting shelter and food in return for work in arms and bound, since their village was taken by blight. Since our options were extremely limited, I accepted the proposal deal, and a slight moment of peace fell over the map. The bell tolled twice. What looked to be a dark grey cloud of immense size appeared above the colony. The truth, however, was far worse than your average day in Britain. The cloud was not a cloud at all, but in fact a swarm of creatures capable of resurrection. Anything not burned or buried was to rise once more and march on Winterfell to meet a disappointing death.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool.
No way. It was that they would rise once more and attack any colonist within eating range. It cost us an arm and a leg probably, but we were thankful that our new guests were willing to fight for us, and our bell tolled its third and final time. It was a betrayal. They'd allowed trust to become naivety, and now Randy's laugh made more sense. Akin to the betrayal of the tribespeople in need, this was something that had been planned from the start.
This old
TB
isn't going down without a fight.
Between the battle at our doorstep and the RIMWORLD version of the Red Wedding taking place in our halls, it all became too much for our now dwindling colony. It became another chapter in the history books. Look, right? I meant it when I said I had a smooth brain. It's probably the least exaggerated thing I've said over the past 3 episodes. If scientists were to open this noggin right, they'd probably lose their minds with how perfectly non-wrinkled the brain is. Besides, game was definitely on the hardest difficulty, so there's another excuse. Rewind button. I chose Randy, set up the map and made some slight changes to the ideology and created another colony hopefully autonomous enough to keep my 3-year-old attention span in check. The new map was better than any Call of Duty map pack that didn't include a zombies map. That's right, I'm one of those people. I put on my PES and got to work constructing our new great empire. Came to my attention that Senra was in fact a young Mama Murphy, since her want for the Nono juice was almost identical. Except this was a time in her life where she wasn't down for the final 5 hits. I must have thought myself some funny guy when it came to naming the colony once more.
You know,
Funny how?
it's just, you know, you
How? What?
funny.
Funny how? Funny how?
Not just.
The colony foundations were almost back to where the previous ones had been left, but the animal pen and research. However, there were enough built in place to allow our colony to hopefully survive for another day.